Hello, everybody. We're back and we've got the amazing Vee Bharakda. How are you, Vee?
I'm very well, thank you, Making. Is the sun shining where you are?
It is. It's a beautiful day today. Absolutely beautiful. And we're stuck indoors.
It's a little bit little bit temperamental here. It comes and goes kind of thing. So.
Oh, is it? Is it? Oh, well, we'll make the best of what we've got. Now, I'd like you, if you wouldn't mind, to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So my name is Vee Bharakda, and for the last 30 years, I've struggled with people pronouncing my name. So the fact that the fact that you've got it right, and with the pronunciation, well done you. So I have 30. Sorry. So I have 30 years. I have 30 years of working in large national accountancy and insolvency firms, dealing predominantly with insolvency cases and dealing with getting directors out of tricky situations. And then 3 years ago, I started Navigate Business Recovery, which kind of does the same thing, helping company directors and business owners with their financial difficulties.
Wonderful. So you are another founding sponsor of Sophie Enterprises, and given your experience of Navigate Business Recovery, where you have been helping and supporting people, I'm going to make the assumption that this is why you've become a founding sponsor of Sophie Enterprises. Can you tell us a little bit about why you got involved?
So I've sat on a couple or three different boards in my time in the last 30 years, and have felt, quite seriously that although there's probably 8, maybe 10 people on the boards, committee members, non-executive directors, they don't really connect well together. Yeah. So there is a mission and there is an ethos and there are principles, but no matter how hard you try and connect all those people together was proving to be difficult. So when I met James on a networking event on Zoom, we connected, and Nikki, we connected sort of almost instantaneously. We had that rapport and synergy and lots and lots of energy. So when they spoke to me about Sophie, and the fact that there was only 4 people, as in myself, Ian Woolard, James Hunt, and Nikki, I felt that it was the smaller the group, the better to work with. So, and their passion, their ethos, their mission statements was exactly the same as what I have in Navigate Business Recovery. So almost, I didn't have to think about it. I kind of said to James, I'm signing up straight away.
Wonderful. And I love that that you've been on previous boards, based on your experience of being on those boards, how Sophie Enterprises is quite different. Now, are you able to elaborate a little bit about Sophie, what it does? In talking to James, talking to Nikki and Ian Woolard that you mentioned, there was a common thread that went throughout all the interviews, which was the word fellowship.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Gosh, I've spent probably about 5-10 minutes this morning on Wikipedia trying to look at what the definition of fellowship is. So to me, I'm not sure if it matters if it's about fellowship. What matters is that we all sing from the same hymn sheet. So all want it to be both business and social. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about business owners. It's a place where business owners can come over and talk through their issues, their problems, and not feel like they're being judged, because there might be a few other people in the same group that are going through the same problems. So Sophie is very much about both the business entrepreneurship and the social enterprising aspect of the organization.
That is absolutely wonderful. And I think you've touched on a great point there, because another common thread when I talk to everyone is that being in business can often feel like the loneliest planet. but it doesn't need to be, especially when you've got Sophie and other people there to support you. And it sounds like that's the kind of same theme that is run through your business, and that's why you wanted to get involved with Sophie. Would you say? Would you agree?
Oh no, 100% agree. You know, so like running my own business when I first started was very, very lonely. There was only myself.
Yeah.
There was no one that I could have banter with, no one to go and answer a question if I needed help. And then within a year we employed Donna, then we got Matt, then we got Mitchell. But it's not the same. It's not the same. Talking about business issues with your staff members is not the same as talking to people like
not the same.
James or Nikki or Ian Woolard. So, you know, I've definitely found it quite lonely in the last 3 years. So when James said, oh, come and be a panelist, I'm running some webinars, you know, talking about the COVID, about restructuring, turnaround, I jumped at the chance, but also a bit of a shoulder to cry on. So
yeah,
it was kind of like, you know, well, if I have an issue, I have James and Nikki and Ian now that I can ring, because it's not just about me being on my own. I've got Sophie, you know, that's the way how it's inspiring me.
Wonderful. And you know, I think we'll end the broadcast there, because I think you've made a very, very good point. You know, as business owners, it can feel lonely. You felt lonely in the last 3 years, but now with Sophie Enterprises, we've got somewhere that we have a shoulder to cry on. We've got somewhere that we can share our experiences with. We've got somewhere that we can actually talk to our peers, not our staff members, but people who understand, because they've also been there as well. Thank you so much for your time, Vee.
Thank you,
really appreciate it. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And look forward to learning from you in the future.